What's up, guys? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another YouTube live on this channel. Someone asked me the other day a bunch of interview questions, and there's one that stood out that was really good that I just wanted to kind of call out here. And it was, what do you do when you've lost focus, when you feel overwhelmed? How do you get back on track? And this is something that and it's simple, but again, it's deceptively simple, which is just ship something small. And I see it constantly. It's hilarious now, like going through so many organizations. I mean, I've worked at large companies, small companies. I've run multiple small companies now, and it's wild, this pattern that you see constantly of like what gets people off the rails. And it's funny how it's all about just like overextending yourselves. It's like, you want to do, you bring up something you want to do, and then all of a sudden you have these like grand plans to do like 100 other things. I was reading just now, there's an Inc. article right now. I think it was written maybe the last week. Inc.'s got a new publication on Medium. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's pretty recent, so there's a lot of Inc. magazine type articles on Medium. And there's this, I just read one about the founder of GoPro, and it I don't know if you've been following GoPro, but GoPro was a pretty successful company there for a while. I mean, it was bootstrapped. I mean, they make those action cameras. It invented this whole new category, and it was bootstrapped, and they were profitable like every year since they were founded until they had their IPO, and then they started like dreaming these like crazy thoughts and had all of these aspirations of like doing more and more and more and more. And they wanted to create this media company, and the media company became this huge sink of investment dollars. They created this Karma drone, and they created this camera and new addition to this camera, and they basically lost focus, and they basically overextended themselves. And just reading through that article and reading through what the founder was thinking when he wanted to create that media company, I mean, it's exactly what, I swear to God, even when talking to a friend of mine who wants to start a podcast, like, it's like, well, okay, let's start this podcast. Let's like do it, today, tomorrow. Oh no, let's talk in the new year when, I have some time to like think about like all this stuff that we should plan about topics. And it's like, you don't need to do that. Like, we could just keep it simple. We could get on Google Hangouts right now and just record something and put it out there. But there's something in us that continues to make us overextend our thoughts, our money, what we prioritize in our lives. And it's like one of the leading problems in our life, right? I mean, we don't have enough money because we spend it all on too many other things. We're not, our companies aren't successful like GoPro because we spend all of our attention and resources on too many things. And then all of those things like they don't have any quality. They're not good enough anymore. So when I feel unfocused, I just go back. I mean, I fall into this trap too. There's something I want to make or build or do, and all of a sudden, like, well, man, this needs like these 10 features, or it's not good enough. And rarely is this true. And so I just keep forcing myself to get back to shipping just the smallest thing. Maybe it's even like, even this video today is a really great example. Like, I was working today on another video. I woke up with this like inspiration to like make this video about this topic. And by the end of the day, this video had like 3 different story elements to it, 3 different topics I was going to talk about. And it's like I overextended myself. And look at what I'm doing. I have to do a YouTube Live because I couldn't finish the video by the end of the day. I got unfocused. And so it happens to me too. And so what's my solution? Ship this. It's something small. What's my solution to that video that took me all day? I ended up like, now at the end of the day, it's like, nope, I'm going to go back to like shortening the amount of stories I'm talking about, just focusing on one point. And so it's just this constant, you've got to just ship something small and make that like the priority. It doesn't even matter how good it is, just get it out the door. Like, any momentum of shipping breeds more momentum of shipping, and you will find yourself focused again. Like even, getting draft done. When I made draft, when I got done with working on the Obama campaign, and it was all about just kind of shipping something that just did a little bit of autosave. I didn't know what draft was going to turn into, but I shipped it, got it to some friends, then I started adding some more stuff. But that momentum just breeds more momentum, and you'll get through this stuff. Don't worry about solving all the problems, just ship something small. That's it. That brings me a lot of clarity in life. Just finding something, even if it's something unrelated. You know, like I know all of this stuff is bothering you and there's a lot of problems going on. Just come back here. Go to a little place where you can find a little like center by getting just a little tiny thing built and done and out published into the world. And you're going to feel a lot better and probably be able to go to that other thing and start seeing some of the smaller things you can peel off of that and unburden yourself of having to solve all the problems at once. That's it. I hope you guys are having a good holiday. Anybody want to ask any questions while I'm here, since we're doing YouTube Live and this does have chat, although YouTube has a very terrible chat live experience. I don't know. I've been pinging them. Multiple people now have been on Twitter and YouTube trying to get them to, like, these YouTube chats don't exist after the live session is done, which is just ridiculous. The fact that Gearish, thanks Dathan, clarity and focus, are they interrelated? What's up, Chris? Welcome to my channel. Gearish, I don't know. Clarity and focus, are they interrelated? Maybe. I'm not sure. That's a deep, deep question. I find I am of clear thought when I'm focused on one thing, and when I'm focused on like 100 things, I'm not that clear. I mean, there's other people who can focus on more things at once. I mean, look at Elon Musk. He's clearly got a bunch of different things going on, and he seems very clear of thought. But I don't know if there's a lot of Elon Musks out there. So for me, yes, I feel like I need to, you know, I can't do too many things at once, or I'm not thinking clearly about them. So maybe. Also, yeah, just while I'm complaining about YouTube Live, it's crazy. So you guys are watching this YouTube live stream. I'm filming it on the new iPhone X, which has a 1080 camera, and it's still not in 1080. Scott, you asked a great question. How do you choose what to focus on? Well, I mean, this is, so, you know, one thing that we do in our, thanks, Chris. Chris says, love your vlog, going to ship an unpolished prototype for my startup this weekend. Perfect. You know, send it, link it up below. Whenever you're done with it, come back to the channel and send us a link, and we'll all check it out. Scott, you asked about knowing what to focus on. I mean, that's, you know, that's tough, and it's going to be, you know, subjective. But one thing that helps me is I focus on just deadlines. And so, you know, with High Rise, we have, you know, we try to establish this deadline of every 3 weeks or 2 weeks. I mean, it changes for us kind of where we're at, but let's say 3 weeks, and every 3 weeks we're going to send out a new newsletter to people. And on that newsletter, one thing on that newsletter isn't good enough for me unless it's like a new iPhone app. But often I want like 3 things on that newsletter. To get 3 things on that newsletter, that helps us kind of break down like what we have to focus on. Like, well, you know, like early on in that schedule, it's like, okay, we've got 3 weeks ahead of us. What can we get done? Like, well, we can get a big thing done in 3 weeks. But then when you get down to the end of that deadline, it's like, we need to get like 3 small things done. You know, like we're running out of time. So giving yourself those deadlines really forces you into a position of telling you what to focus on. Like, in order to keep that momentum going, you start looking for either, you know, when you're early in the cycle, big things to take over and focus on, and when you're late in the cycle and the deadline's approaching, now you're starting to find smaller things that you can just get out the door quicker. So that's something that those deadlines and that promise to our customers that we're going to keep shipping and keep this momentum going is what helps us find things to focus on. So that's what we used kind of, you know, as kind of a guiding principle. Other than that, I mean, obviously we're just, you know, listening to our customers, and we use a product ourselves constantly. So we know like where all the rough edges are. So all of that kind of goes into, you know, a formula of what to focus on, but the deadline is key. So I'm a huge fan of giving yourself deadlines. Like just this vlog itself, every day I put out a new video. So it helps me what to focus on. If I've got all day to do a video, well, I know I can focus on doing like a really good video and edit some really great footage. If it's at the end of the day, shit, I got to do a YouTube Live. So I don't know. That's been a really good guiding principle in my life. Lots of deadlines. All right, guys, it's going on 10 minutes. I hope you have an awesome evening and day if you're just getting started on the other side of the world. And I will see you tomorrow. Have an awesome one. Please hit the thumbs up. Bye, guys.